One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics, past or present. We'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane
with exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast,
the voice of your covered walkway streets. So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronx Village to the Fieldhouse,
we'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
So saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
Hey guys, welcome to another great episode. Well, we think it's going to be great. I mean, we're, this guy.
Yeah. The great Mike. Yeah, it's going to be great, dude. I know I keep interrupting, but because I'm really excited to have Mike. Yeah, I don't think I've spoken to Mike in a while, man. But please introduce him, dude. Introduce the great Mike.
The great Mike Thompson from Harlem, New York, who resides somewhere on the East Coast. I mean, this man is well-traveled, well-versed, and we are so blessed that he has found the time to join our little podcast.
He's a busy guy, man.
He's so busy, and he's doing God's work, and he's healing, and he's helping. And Mike Thompson, welcome to the show, my man. Thanks for joining us. Oh, that was Mike. That's you, Mike.
Something happened with the sound.
It happens, man. Technology is our friend, and sometimes it's our foe. But you are our friend. So, Mikey, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I am fantastic. All is well. Gratitude and joy. Appreciate you guys. Two of my good buddies from my college days, from our roommate days, from our traveling on the road, being roommates in different cities, and just having a good old time playing basketball and living that life.
Yeah.
UT Pan American, man, point guard, right? Some called you the Magic Johnson of the Valley. Okay, just the way you dish dimes, your presence out in the court, man. Where did you come from, man? How did you develop your point guard skills? What was your upbringing there? Yeah. Your style, your New York style. Where did all that come from, man? We kind of know, but we want you to tell the audience. And just like that, like a magic show, if you're not watching it, you're listening to it. Mike had disappeared from the screen and then comes back in magic.
It gave me flashbacks of you in practice. Like you were there 1 minute, and then you were like, "Where's Mike?" And then Mike would be over there stretching, and he'd be like out of practice, like he couldn't be in the practice.
So something happened to his skinny damn ankle, and we don't know what it is.
So during those days, I had a great experience growing up in New York City. And one of my favorite players to watch play was Rod Strickland, and so Rod Strickland was very creative, very orchestrative in running the offense. He ran the offense in a way that was very unique. So that was one of the players that I studied. But also growing up in Hartford, Connecticut, I got a chance to play with great players like Kendrick Moore, seen up close and personal Mike Williams, who played for UMass at the time and causing havoc across the United States against whoever he played against. I also played on the same high school team as Marcus Camby. We went 27-0 the year with Camby, and then we went 23-1. So back-to-back state championships gave me a lot of opportunity to see a lot of good players, but also study a lot of good players and just be very creative with my approach to the basketball game. And Magic Johnson was one of my favorites. So the way he played the game, the way he looked out for his teammates, it we all remember a bunch of the behind the back passes and
Yeah.
throwing alley oops, and we
Oh,
we
man.
had a really good time doing those things. So
You were by far one of the best lob throwers that I've ever played with. Like you knew exactly where to put the ball, and you always helped showcase me, because without you, my athleticism was, you helped me tremendously. So I want to give you your props and your flowers now.
gratitude, my brother, gratitude.
Yeah.
The thing about playing with you, Matt, is you were a young freshman, and it was a development process. So as you begin to develop, you begin to explore which ways to be good on the basketball court. And one of the things that I noticed is, because I came from the city playing with a lot of skilled players, you hadn't had that many touches. So I tried to get you more touches so that you would be involved in the offense. And I also knew that if I put the ball close to the rim, you would be able to finish it. And so I had a really good time growing with you and learning from you, and going from helping Camby become player of the year in high school and in college, to helping Matt Palmquist develop as, a lot of
It's up there.
I saw a lot of the similarities though. Like
what's funny that you say that was, when I was in high school, Camby was my favorite player. Like I've always looked to his game and tried it, because we were tall and skinny and we weren't the brute strength, like push you down. So when I found out that you had played with one of my favorite players ever, it was like, oh, okay, this is something where I can learn from. And it gets me excited too, because G usually asks a question at the end, and we'll let him ask. And I think I already know the answer to G's question.
If Mike has any kind of strategic mind, coaching, kind of mentality, he's gonna give us the right answer. But we'll leave that to the end.
We'll leave that to the end. But out of all let me ask you this: before we get into how you got to your time there in Edinburgh with Pan Am playing for the Bronx, in all of your travels, playing in New York or on the blacktop, or in high schools in Connecticut or college, whatever, who do you think was the best player or the toughest player that you ever laced them up against?
Laced them up against?
And Mike, you can't say me on the practice team when you were playing. During practice, you can't do that. When I was wearing the red jersey,
you were that guy.
Nah, I was at Pan Am. I was looking at a lot of food. I wasn't thinking there was a lot of competition. I was thinking, these guys are the food. Let's eat around here.
The scout team, baby. Shout out to the scout team, man. Wherever.
No, but our scout team used to kick our starter team's tail a lot.
Shout out to Brian Klaus. Brian Klaus, he was there for a week.
Shout out, baby. Marcus Green. Shout out.
Yeah. You made me forget the question.
Was, who was the toughest player that you ever played against?
Oh, toughest player. So, different age brackets, but I had a chance to play against Shaheen Holloway when he was pretty tough in the ranks. I had a chance to play against Shaman Antrim, who was he performed probably one of the best. Anthony Harris from Danbury, Connecticut, who played at University of Hawaii, who was really tough. Mike Williams, who was at UMass. But one of my toughest people to face was Kendrick Moore in practice, because he was relentless. He never stopped. He showed up to practice early, stayed late, worked his tail off, and he ended up being player of the year. But I was the guy who ended up throwing him a lot of assists on the way to being player of the year. So it benefited me. But he was pretty tough to deal with sometimes.
He ended up going to Missouri out of freshman year. Was in Missouri for a couple of years, and then transferred to Providence, right?
Yep, he transferred to Providence, and also one of the tough guys that I played with was Shamgod. So I always tell a story about New York City. One of my favorite things to do in the 1980s was to actually guard Shamgod because there was always something creative happening on the floor. It was like amazing, like just experience to force him into action all day in practice and to watch him create things that he was going to do in the games.
You know what what's crazy, Mike, is how small of a world this world is. You just said Shamgod, right? Jerron Allen's son is in school with God Shamgod's son. They're like in the same class.
Yep.
They go to school together.
They're really good friends too.
Yeah, and they're really good friends. Isn't it? Is it such a small world? Like, so
small circle.
You don't know who Jerron Allen is. Yeah.
Yes.
Who?
Yeah, one of our close teammates. And these are like some of the stories about guys who I would tell to you guys back in the day, but we didn't have a face on it. But now it's 20 years later. Everybody
That's correct. Yeah.
Shamgod is. And he's just like a guy I was just excited to have as a teammate back then. But now he's a world class and everybody regards him as the best ball handler in, ever,
Doesn't he work with some of the NBA
Mavericks?
Mavericks, Kyrie Irving. He's
That's
if
crazy,
you watch
man.
Kyrie Irving, you're watching a lot of those tools that Shamgod had. He was in when I watched Kyrie Irving, that's what I think. I think like, man, he looks like Shamgod playing in the 8th grade. Like this is what I was looking at.
That's what God Shamgod looked like in the 8th grade. Was what Kyrie's doing now.
Crazy, man.
Oh my gosh, that's
the handle part, the finish.
The handle,
the finish work is Kyrie Irving.
Well, Kyrie is Rod Strickland's godson too, right? So I mean, he's been kind of coached by two of the best point guards ever.
Ever.
You see, I started your show talking about Rod Strickland. So Rod Strickland, he's one of those guys who's game. Yeah, that's the game. That's the game I could put if I could put my game into the package. That's what it would look like, right? It would look like how Rod Strickland played the game.
Yeah,
Rod Strickland, Magic Johnson. That combination.
Oh my goodness.
And Ben Simmons. Combo. And Ben Simmons. So
in high school, Ben Simmons, maybe.
Oh my goodness, Mikey, how did you how did that whole recruiting process happen for you? How did you end up?
You were in JUCO, right?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Like, what those JUCO days were like for you. We love going back to those JUCO days, how it developed you, and then how that got you, prepared and ready or recruited to UT Pan American.
So my junior college was in McCook, Nebraska. I was coached by a guy named Trace Bevel. Trace Bevel was a really good coach, and he was really good interpersonally. So he had a lot to manage. He had a lot of personalities from all across the country, guys from Milwaukee, Connecticut, New York, right, California. And a lot of guys transferred in. So a lot of the stories of different players, we all shared different stories on the next level. So some guys played with Eddie House, some guys played with all of these other different people. I would come with my stories about playing with Camby, and so everybody would get together, and we would have all of these stories that Chauncey Billups, his name was in there, and we would all talk about our high school team would beat yours and all of these stories.
Mix. Yeah,
it was very competitive, and my journey in junior college was I had to fight to be a good player in junior college, but I was also playing behind the #1 point guard in the nation, a guy named Tracy Gross. And he was really tough. He was actually, one of those tough guys. He was 24. He was at this age, he was 24 years old and I was 19. And he was coming from hard times and tough out of Milwaukee.
Was a different world then. Like
he was polished.
Dog world.
He was polished, man.
So he was like actually one of the guys that Georgia Tech was recruiting. If they didn't sign Stephon Marbury, they were going to try to sign Tracy Gross. And so I had to face him in practice after having to guard Shamgod all of these years. And this guy is super athletic. And so that experience led me to fight for my position. And I got the position as a freshman, and I became the starting point guard in McCook Community College, and I never
Mhm.
gave the position back. Everybody else had to shuffle. They had to move around. The point guard became the
Nice.
2 guard, and I had to make everybody happy, and that's what I did. So
Yep.
we played against guys like Big O, Ivano Starcevic.
There
Yeah,
you
your name
go.
came
That's how
up
you
on
knew
his
each other.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was
Yeah.
he kind of told the story, and I don't want to take it, but he basically said that when he found out you were going to Pan Am, he got real excited because you were like one of the best point guards he's ever played with. And
Yep.
so you can check that episode out, Big O.
Yeah.
It's in our library, but yeah. So continue, please. I
Yeah.
just wanted to give you that.
Yeah, gratitude. Yeah, that's my brother, Big O. So in junior college, we played against all of these different top performers, and I
Yeah.
performed well, but I wasn't ranked like that. Bobby Jackson was
Mhm.
in my conference. He was basically the best guard in the conference. Him and Tracy
Mm.
Gross, they had like, big 30 game battles against each other. And Bobby Jackson was the guy who, when Tracy Gross got hurt in the game against them, that was the first opportunity for me as a freshman to step up, and then that's where I produced and became one of the guys who was looked at on my team as respectable. And I took that position and I maximized that position, brought in some guys my sophomore year, like Kelvin Anderson, who played at University of Hawaii, who played high school ball with me. And we had another guy named Ivan Gardner who played like Charles Barkley, who was being recruited by a lot of different teams. And so I helped these guys all get to the next level. But for me, my recruiting came in the sophomore year, and Pan Am was one of the first people to reach out. Coach Orman was one of the first team people.
Oh yeah.
Coach Armand. Shout out to Coach Armand. Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Orman, great work. And so my real signing with Pan Am is based on my relationship with Coach Orman. He was
Mhm.
personable. He was reliable. He stayed consistent with his recruiting of me. Even like the day that I signed with Pan Am, University of St. John's had a bunch of people go to the NBA or something, so they called to try to recruit and get me to not send in my letter. But I was like kind of going on like the honor system at the time. It was like, no, I gave him my word. So, and I liked the guys that I met that was going there. Khalid was on my recruiting visit. So
That's right.
yeah, so I ended up pushing through, and I had big dreams of like actually taking this little small program and turning it into like one of the big time energetic experiences that I had. But big dreams fade sometimes.
Well, we're glad that
You can only dream big though, Mike. You can only dream
you
big.
can
That's
only
the
dream
only way
big,
to do it.
I'm personally thankful that you did choose, because my experience would have been different had you not been there, no telling. I could have been a lot better player had you not been there, so I'm messing with you, but
I doubt
no,
that.
but you know what I'm saying?
I seriously doubt that too. I was
No, I
watching a
seriously
lot from
doubt
the
it too.
outside.
I'm just ribbing him,
you
but
know.
yeah,
I was on the
my
sideline. I was on the sideline a lot watching it, Matt. And there's just no way that would have happened. Just to let you know, I was a professional observer. Okay, that's how I learned all my evaluation skills.
Yeah,
and
that's why you're the hell of a coach. See, that's
implemented it into
exactly
a
what it was.
coaching mentality. That's right. That's right. So Mikey, you got the Pan American, man. What was your first? You said Khalid was there, on your visit. What was your first kind of
impression?
I mean, you grew up in the East, right? In the Northeast or on the East Coast,
New York. Yeah.
What was your impression of Gulf Coast, baby? GC.
So I also was coming from Nebraska, so we
That's right.
were in the middle of cornfields. There was a lot of snow. It was cold. It was not a lot of culture there. So
Yeah.
when I got to on my visit, like I basically like just enjoyed landing and being with the palm trees and having
Yeah.
this experience and
Yeah.
smelling like this different aroma, and it's like palm trees mixed with fresh air, mixed with fresh tacos, mixed with like all of these different, all of these different, like Mexico right there. You can smell the river. It's like all
Yeah.
of these different
Yeah.
aromas that you can you have as an
Pineapple and tahine. Pineapple and
Yeah,
tahine. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I got
Tequila,
yeah.
fresh margarita. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, little
Amaretto.
aroma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those
Yeah.
different things. So I had that experience initially just on upon arrival that I was gonna enjoy it here. And
Yeah.
so when I went out on my visit, it was just very creative to be able to go to Mexico for the evening, and go across the border and have an experience.
Mhm.
You know, and then the weather was beautiful. So it was, hot,
Yeah.
but it was,
Yeah.
great weather. I was coming from the cold, so the great weather was, impressive.
It was
And then
refreshing. Yeah.
every experience that I had, like the interactions were all pleasant. Most of my experiences were pleasant up until, some of the basketball experiences, but the the
Yeah.
the experiences on the ground where it was safe, we were able to study, we were able to focus, we were able to
Mm-hmm.
elevate and level up, and then we had plenty of time to get to know each other, which gave us an opportunity to become really good friends and to get
Yeah.
Mhm.
get opportunities to have the interconnected part where we go and visit each other's homes. And I've been to Brownsville with G, I've been to Bastrop with Matt, and so
Yeah.
we've had all of these different experiences, and then what we've done on the ground too, all the way up until working with Mike Mancias and LeBron James
Mhm.
and all of
Yeah.
these different levels that we've been able to impact, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
impact I take very serious,
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
Matt, Matt, and Mike Mancias went to go visit our first introduction of Mike Mancias getting into the NBA, and so we
Mhm.
were part of his um, belief system of, oh man,
Right.
I can do this. I can see myself being successful at this level, and hey, these guys are regular like me, and so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
25 years later, we've impacted the whole NBA by just being
You
present,
know,
what we've
I'm,
done.
I'm it's funny that you brought up that story because I was in I flash forward, I was in Vegas like 2 years ago, 3 years ago during summer league, and I ran into Popeye Jones,
Yes.
who's now a assistant coach, and he's been an assistant coach throughout, various teams, but he's currently with the Nuggets. And I walked up to him, I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I was 18 years old and I was introduced to you, and you were in San Antonio. We hung out with you guys, and Walt Williams and Marcus." And he looked at me and he was like, "What are you doing now?" I was like, "Well, I'm an agent." And he was just like, he bought me a drink and we sat down. And to this day, like we text all the time. And Popeye
Yes.
Jones is like one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet, And so I'm thankful for that trip that we took to San Antonio that one night. Rode
Yep.
up
Shout
there,
out to
went to the
Popeye Jones,
yeah,
Walt Williams, Marcus Camby, Mike
yep.
Mancias, Matt
So yeah,
Palmquist, Mike Thompson,
it was
all of
great.
us sitting in the room. We were all
It was
sitting in a room just having a good old
just
uh
talking. I mean,
yeah.
they spent time with 3 college kids, and just kind of like answered our questions, and we're just like, how's it different now? Because they're obviously in the pros. Like, how is college different than we were playing? So
They
it
were,
was like,
they were like, pick up the phone, order the room
yeah,
service.
it was a
Yeah.
powwow. It was really fun. It was really fun. So your time at Pan Am, right? You hooped, and we've all got stories of positivity and negativity when we all played, right? But for the most part, we played for Coach Adams that one year, your first year, your junior year, and then you played for Coach Brooks your senior year, right? So like minus the basketball, your overall experience down in the valley was great because you ended up moving your mom and your family down to the valley, correct? Like your senior
Yeah,
year, they were down there for support system. So kind of
yeah,
talk about
definitely.
that.
Yeah, my a couple of my brothers graduated from, and my sister graduated from the high schools down there.
Wow.
And we had a really good community impact. My mom's house was a kind of like a
Oh
refuge
yeah.
for people who didn't have
Mhm.
a place to go. and she made it a safe space. So we impacted a lot of lives, and kept a lot of kids out of trouble, and got people in development. And we had a big church impact down there. We spent a lot of time in the churches, and so family wise, I had a great experience. Even on the basketball court, just being able to play out my Division I experience, right? We lost a lot of games, but we also were able to go and challenge a lot of teams. Like, we really had opportunity to beat some really good teams, and we played against some really special players, like some players who, some players embarrassed us and got their numbers on us, and other players, they had a rough night because we showed who we really were.
Agreed.
Those different experiences of beating Division I teams that were really good, and challenging others that
We were competitive, yeah, for
yeah,
sure. For sure.
but on paper it looked like we were just gonna be dog food every night. It was like, oh, we going over there, let's just get this win and party, right? And so once they found out that we came to play, they actually had to bring their A game. And sometimes we weren't deep enough, maybe not tough enough, or whatever the experience was. We ended up having it, but the point is, we had the experience. And that experience lasts us a lifetime, because even today, I'm able to walk into any gym and just think, I still walk into every gym and think I'm the best point guard in this gym. Every gym, still to this day. I probably like got whatever's happening in LeBron's brain is happening in my brain. Like,
it's just the competitive. It's the juices, right? It's the competitive juices. Yeah.
The delusional competitive juices, Matt. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Because I've only felt like I couldn't challenge in 2 gyms, right? And so those 2 gyms were when Shamgod was running the point guard. I knew I had to move to the 2 or to the 3. Play another he got this on lock. Right. And then the other position was in junior college, playing with Tracy Gross, which I was able to master because I was able to get the position and then not give it back just as soon as he came back.
And he moved to the 2. So
But
Mike, you said that you remember some of the competitive games, right? That you were, the record really doesn't reflect how competitive and how much of a challenge our UT Pan American teams were to other Division I teams, and that mentality coming in that they had. And again, before I ask this question, I want you to shout out to the scout team the day before they got you ready for those competitive teams and challenges. The scout team with the number 20 on there, or whatever. Just you acknowledge that, right? I just want you to. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Was it Marcus Green number 20? I'm just saying.
I was 20, man. I was 20.
Oh, you were 20. Oh, okay.
Matt,
my bad, boss.
Matt, I was the one with the red jersey on, okay, that could shoot it on the other team. That's it.
Yes.
That's all. I just wanted for Mike to again acknowledge the scout team.
We're recording. So I get it.
So yes, our scout team could literally beat our starting team if we had one of the starters.
Oh yeah, exactly. And we could beat any Division III JV team out there in the country. There's no question. Whatsoever.
We've told this story before, but the night before the Jacksonville game in Jacksonville, and the second team ran the dog shit out of the first team, and Coach Adams said, "That's it."
Yep.
Everybody that was on that second team.
I was one of those guys.
You, Brian Molina. I think it was somebody. Anyways,
Jerron.
Yeah. And I remember I remember specifically that game because Brian Molina was so upset because he didn't start senior night the game before at home. And then we go to Jacksonville the next day, and you're telling me I'm going to start in Jacksonville? So
Shout out to Brian Molina, man.
Shout out to
one of the best shooters to ever walk on a basketball court.
Yes, Brian Molina was definitely my favorite target to find in practice.
Yeah.
Because,
He always made he made everybody look good, man.
yeah,
So
because
oh,
just think about an assist guy who's looking for a guy who's going to get a basket.
yeah.
And and most of the time I was on the second team during my days at Pan Am because I was battling injuries, and
Yeah.
Lalo had a solid career and put together his starting position, and he was one of those guys that worked his tail off to keep it.
Yeah.
So I just
That's
wanted,
right.
I respect the fact that he maintained what he had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, I was always looking like I'm a fry. I'm in practice every day, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be a problem.
Shannon Howard.
So
Yeah.
Brian Molina was the weapon that I used to basically like fry the starters every single day. Like he's not gonna miss, and I don't miss passing to him. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna have problems.
Well,
And
Coach Mo.
during those days, Matt was on on the second team as well because he was still a freshman, and so
Yeah.
we were able to develop those different tools. So by the time we got to the Jacksonville game, and that's like maybe game number 8 or whatever,
Mhm.
put us in as starters, right? We literally produced at such a high level, it shocked the coaches. We were up 16-8, and
Yep.
That's right.
the
That's right.
Jacksonville team, so they were surprised. He subs all 5 of us out and then puts us back in the game. I think the score was 21-17. We were down.
Yes. We were on the bench for like 5 minutes. We gave the starters the lead. We came back in. They subbed us back in. It's like because they gave up the lead, right? Like, do we got to do y'all's
That's
job
a great
for you?
story,
Like,
man.
come on, yeah. Hey, well,
Yeah.
Mike. I mean, we could talk to you for hours, right?
That's a
We're
great
running-
story.
We got
dude.
about another 5-10 minutes, but what is one of the games that you vividly
Mhm.
remember as being like, oh, this is something I'm always going to just cherish for the rest of my days? Like, what is it? Was it a practice moment? Was it in a game? Was it like from your days at Pan Am? What was that memory that you're like, man, when I think about my days there, this is what I think of?
So there's a few moments that exist for me, right? We'll go to the micro, right? So one of them is we were all trying to figure out who's good and who's not good or whatever. And there's a time when I threw a behind the back pass from you at the top of the to you I was at the top of the key, and I threw a behind the back pass through the middle of the whole defense, and you caught the pass and you went up and you got fouled, and I could see like the whole gym turn around, and everybody's like, damn, that was special. Like, this is something, we got something here. We're going to be really good, right? And once that freshman catches it and he dunks that, we all going to be good, right? And so I watched you go from the guy who caught that and was getting fouled to the guy who could finish it. So that I used that as a microcosm as a part of my thought process of what happened, right? The other part was when we played against Lamar. I was not really seeing eye to eye with Coach Adams pretty much most of my time that he was there. And there came a point where guys were in foul trouble and he had to play me. And it was against Lamar. And against Lamar, I was able to produce, and I dropped some really nice assists to get us overtime, and we end up winning the game. And it's like one of the I took a big charge at the end of the game where it was like kind of who does that, right? It was like one of those who does that moment,
especially given your back, like Mike just charge.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you got up after that.
Jim coming out with the gurney.
I was still in my 20s, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
I felt like I was in my 40s at that time, but I was in my 20s. But
was that at home or Lamar?
That was Lamar at home.
Yeah,
at home. I actually, dude, I remember that. I remember when you went in because you hadn't been playing much and you killed it. I actually remember that.
I remember it too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember it too. Mike was the only guy that was 20 years old that was playing, that was like could pass for playing in the 40 and over league during the summer. So like that's where Mike was hooping.
Yeah, I remember thinking, damn, man, like what the hell does this guy need to do to get on the floor more? That's all, that's what I remember.
I
Yeah,
remember
so,
that too.
so
especially
right,
after
right
that.
before I got to Pan Am, I ended up having a really bad ankle sprain playing in this tournament in Connecticut. So that was one of the challenges. It was like I never was able to really get healthy
To
fully to
recoup, yeah.
Them
to
curry
be
ankles.
able to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It takes some dance classes or something at that back in. But I wasn't able to figure it out, which led me, part of what I do now, which is the healing work. It's part of
Yeah.
having those injuries, working in the training room, spending so much time in the training room, working with Mike Mancias, working with you
Mhm.
guys on different levels. So it's like part of my journey that I can't ignore that actually helped me to connect with certain people.
I'm glad you brought that up. So what are you doing now? Because like I want to plug this because if you're friends with you on social media, all we see is like you're traveling here, you're doing retreats, and what is
Mhm.
it that you do? And then how can some of the listeners or our audience or some of the alumni get in touch with you to maybe explore options of different treatments or wellness,
Yeah.
so kind of plug what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I work with the team in Orlando. Our team, we basically facilitate healing practices to large groups, sometimes to different CEOs of different companies. Sometimes we're working with celebrities behind the scenes. I basically have established myself as a unique wellness coach on the planet. I'm a
Okay.
guy who can look at most people and tell you what's happening to them and how to treat most things using food and herbs. And so I work with a lot of different doctors and plant herbalists who study different healing practices, and do energy practices,
Mhm.
light work, energy work to help people to get out of the situation that they're dealing with. And so I've been able to help thousands of people in a row, just in terms of the mentality or equipping people with the tools that they need to go out and improve their health.
Nice.
And in addition to that, I'm able to guide people to the different channels that they may need. So maybe you need
Right.
a doctor, maybe you need somebody for your eyes, maybe you need somebody for your back, maybe you need a massage, maybe you need whatever. Our team has all of the different components of what
Okay.
to heal.
How do they get in touch with
Wow.
you? What's a phone number or an email that you can drop, and then that way people can reach out to you?
Probably the easiest way to reach out to me right now would be through social media. Uh,
Okay.
Mhm.
you can, if you just look on Instagram or Facebook and you type in Style Mike T, STYLEMIKET, a lot of my work will come up. A lot of my
Mhm.
photography work, a lot of
Nice.
the
Style
different
Mike T.
that I do. Yeah, the different work that I do with
Fantastic.
celebrities will come up,
That's
and
awesome.
contacting me directly would probably be the best at this time, and I can connect you with different aspects of our team to help guide you to a wellness practice, or you can work with me directly. I've run a 30-day self-healing practice where I basically coach you every day and tell you different things to improve your health. You do those things and you end up in a better state 30 days from now. And our
Sweet.
team participates in it. And so we run that practice several times throughout the year. And we're getting ready to start the last one for this year. So
Nice.
You do these practices via like virtually, Mike?
yeah, virtually. Some people are online. Some people don't even want
Okay.
to get online. They're just on the phone. They just want to know what the instructions are. Some people I text them the instructions. Whatever is
Okay.
best for you at the moment.
Whatever
That's what we make
works.
sure
Yeah.
that you have.
Awesome.
Yeah, I basically am able to look at people and to help them to see the things that they need. And so it's
Yeah.
kind of like a light and a shadow work. So I'm able to help guide you
Yeah.
to the aspects of yourself that you're looking
Yeah.
for.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Well,
Yeah.
well, you definitely got answers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I got a question for you that's going to require an answer right now to end this to kind of wrap up the show. And I know you still got to give us and a song. So hopefully you've been thinking about it a little bit so we can put it in our Saddle Up soundtrack on Spotify. But before we get to that song, Mike, I'll let you think about it a little bit with answering this question right here. I know that you do some coaching, that you've done some coaching, that you have a
Mhm.
coach's mentality. All right. So let's just put you in this situation, in this scenario, okay? Right now you're down 2, Mike. You're down 2. There's 7 seconds left. All right. We're going full. We're going length of the floor now. Okay. Going length of the floor. You got the basketball. So you sub yourself in. All right. This is a men's league. Let's just say it's a men's league. All right. Championship, 100,000 to every player. All right. You're coming down the you're in charge of drawing this play up. You're the point guard coming down. You're down 2, 7 seconds. You got Matt coming down the right side of the floor. You're kind of setting a back pick for him. You're going to lob it up. Matt's going to get a dunk. Are you going to go for the tie? Or, all right, you set the back pick. The back picker is the one that floats over the corner. That's me. All right. So are you going to go for the lob? Or are you going to hit me in the corner for a 3 to win the whole damn thing?
Oh, damn. That is a really good question.
Thank you, Mike.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
I already know the answer because I'm gonna edit it to where he's gonna say
Hold on, let me give my answer.
Insert clip here.
Yeah. So
Damn.
with 7 seconds, I don't like me so much as setting the back screen.
No, okay. Let's just say you got 12 seconds.
I'm taking the ball up the court. Yep.
You got 12 seconds. You got 12 seconds.
Hold on,
you got enough time to set the back screen. I don't care how much.
I got you. With 7 seconds, I'm driving from the length of the court. I'm breaking the defense down. I'm getting my feet into the lane. I'm looking for you in the corner because everybody thinks we're going for the win, and I'm dumping it down to a Matt for the easy dunk because I like to win in overtime. I don't mind playing overtime. I came to scrap anyways.
Throw it up.
Yeah.
Throw it up.
The and Matt for the finish. Okay. He's going to get the dunk and the and one.
I'm going to get the and one.
Yep. He might get the and one. That's damn right.
And I'm going to make my free throw. Shout out to Lalo.
To get us to overtime.
Mike, but okay, so if we're gonna go ahead and then look at all these scenarios, who's to say that I'm not gonna catch it, shot fake, one dribble, boom, get an and one myself, man? Or you know, just
G, you money from the corner, G. You're gonna shoot the ball and it's gonna go in. That's what's gonna happen.
G just doesn't like the answer. That's what it is.
I don't like the answer. I'm trying to get around.
He don't like
I'm trying to get around it
because he think that I'm supposed to go for the easy win. I know you over there. You know I make these decisions too, right? Yeah. So you know that I'm gonna go for the easier shot. And I'm also going to utilize the fact that you're open. So I'm going to make sure that they go to you. And then I'm going to find Matt for the easy alley-oop.
There you go.
He's the point guard. We got to go.
Look, he's the point guard. We got to go with it.
Even though I absolutely hate the answer, I trust the source. He's a point guard, man. Our point guard, UT Pan American's own point guard. Join the show, man.
In the overtime, G, you get 3 extra threes.
There you go.
We're 9 more points, make better use of having you on the team.
We're putting that game away, Mike. I got you.
Yeah, we sure are.
I got you. Yeah.
Speaking of putting things away, we gotta wrap up the episode, but we need a contribution for the soundtrack for the Saddle Up podcast.
Oh man!
Name one song that you would listen to get you hyped back in the day.
Oh man!
Was it Mace's Harlem World? Like, I mean, you know,
Mase was also one of my teammates. So
yeah, I know that's why I dropped that. Right.
Yeah, so I didn't look at him like that back then, but I remember we were definitely Notorious Big fans.
Yes.
But I think the energy of our team, we might have more moved into the Rough Riders, DMX.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're adding DMX Rough Riders. Okay.
Rough Riders Anthem, the remix. Clean version.
Clean version. Family version.
And name a song now that you would add to. Given your vibe, I'm thinking you're gonna say like Sade, like, you know, something very mellow.
I think cool. Mike is more of a Kendrick Lamar guy. No.
Nah.
Erykah Badu. Like,
Eric. Oh yeah.
Well. If you know me, you know that I'm probably one of the biggest Lauryn Hill fans on the
Lauryn
planet.
Hill, yeah.
Yes, true.
So, you can just press play by Lauryn Hill. But one of my favorite songs to play is the song called "Tell Him" by Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
And
Got it.
it's about love, and she's singing about me, and that's what the song is about, and it's about how she's supposed to express her love to me every day. And I wanted to
To
share
you personally,
guys
Mike.
that
I
you
got
feel
you.
empowered and loved the way that I do when I listen to Lauryn Hill. So
That's
yeah, but
hey, Lauren, we're gonna
Lauryn
get
Hill.
this episode to Lauren. We're getting it. We're getting it to Lauren. All right, that's
Tell
our
him
promise to you.
Oh, I'm
added.
sure. I'm sure she's gonna tap in. I'm sure she's gonna tap in. She's gonna, give you guys a call and say, "Give me that brother's number."
Yeah,
There
She
we go.
already got it. I gave her the card. It's in her pocket.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's there. It's on the back of her phone case. She keeps it. So
Yeah.
we added
I don't know
the
why she
two.
didn't call me yet.
Yeah, just man, be patient, Mikey.
Be
Be
patient.
patient.
Manifest,
Great
my
things.
friend. It'll
Great things will come.
Yep.
I've been saying that statement for a couple of years. I don't know why
Yeah.
she didn't call me yet.
It might have gone. She might have emailed you. Check your spam box, your
Oh,
junk
okay,
mail,
yeah.
right? So that's probably where it was. But Mike Thompson, you are a true friend, a friend of the show. Blessings to you, my friend, and we can't thank you enough for joining. Our little regional podcast and talk about
Oh,
your
no, this
days.
is global, man. There's nothing little or
We're going
regional.
global after
We're
this,
going
baby.
global after this one, baby.
We've been global. What are you talking about?
global.
Did you hear the
We're even
stories
more
we just
global now,
told?
Mike.
Did you hear the stories we just told? We're
I
talking
know.
about all of
Harlem
these
World, baby.
aspects of our life.
Hey, till next week, guys. Enjoy your week. Stay blessed. Take care.
Gratitude. Bronx out.
Saddle up, baby.
Like we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean. Like something happened.